to forget myself, I started to learn this language. There is no another. Many people learn this language because they want to do government exam. They are a job person, so in their job field they are required. But my reason to learn this language only to forget myself, to get overcome such overthinking process. Because doesn't matter how broken you are, you can always start and be better than before.
Hello everyone, you're most welcome in AJ speaking in English. And right now I am feeling honored because I'm going to talk with Shabnam ji. And Shabnam ji is from Mumbai and she is a housewife. So, and one thing I would like to tell you about her also, she is really enthusiastic when she speaks in English language. And let's do not waste any time and let's talk to Shabnam ji. So, how are you feeling, Shabnam ji?
Yeah, Ajay. Right now I'm feeling very good and very excited to talk with you.
Mhm.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay,
So
that is
you told me that you're going to ask some question to me, and I hope I try to best to give that answer of this questions.
definitely, definitely. And why am I like asking you these questions? Because there are so many women's and men's, and they do not have like they face a lot of hesitations also. And you are inspiring them. When I uploaded your video at that time, so there were a lot of person they were asking about you. How did you learn the English language? So that's why. And you are good speaker. So you are on intermediate level, and definitely you are going to become advanced speaker in just within 2 or 3 months, I think.
Hope, Ajay. Actually, when you upload that video, so at that time I was afraid of a negative comment because as a human being, that negative comment impact more compared to the positive comment. So I was a little bit afraid at that time, but I saw people are very supporting. They didn't give any kind of negative comment, and also try to thrive, ma'am, give like she is fabulous. So that sentence motivate me for a great extent.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with one question related to the nervousness. You
Yeah,
said
please.
people are really afraid. So tell me about when the first time when you started speaking in English, the moment. So at that time, were you really afraid, and which kind of things were going in your mind at that time?
Yeah, exactly. I would like to share that incident, that very quite captivating incident. When I started to learn this language. So after 2 or 3 months, I realized that speaking is also very important. If I want to good in this language, so I should speak with somebody. So I come to know about that Josh Talk application on the YouTube, and that application I thought that why shouldn't I try with this application? But first time I was very afraid of that
Mhm.
making call because before this I never speak to anyone in that language, even a single sentence I never speak. So the first time when I connected, first it took me 3 days to think like I should connect the call or not. Initially, first day, then
Mm.
somehow I gather the courage and then connect the call. So another person say hello and how are you, and I disconnect the call. Suddenly I disconnect the call because of nervousness. Then I feel what should I tell, and may I make mistakes. So lots of things are spinning around my mind at that time. So again I decided, okay, I will call later on. I would call later on. So in the evening time, somehow like I gather again the courage, and I thought now I didn't cut the call. What happened, whatever happened, what the sentences comes into my mind, I started to speak with that person. So I again connect the call, and luckily the call connected to a lady person because on George Talk, it's my observation that many time call connected to the male person, and
Mhm.
especially another gender call talk to another gender. The first time it's quite difficult. Later on I am habituated with this, but first time I connected with a lady person, and she is also I think she is above the basic level. So
Mhm.
first time I feel nervousness, but I tackle that situation somehow, and
Mhm.
I he that another person didn't realize that I'm a like basic learner. I just start to learn, and she told me that you speak very well. Even I'm not
Oh.
speaking very well. She told me that she is speaking very well, and that
Mhm.
motivates me a lot. I feel like okay,
Oh.
I'm also able to speak a little bit good. So that moment
Oh.
motivate me, and I can't tell you the happiness at that moment, because this is some kind of dream which come true. I
Mhm.
never in my whole life I never speak in this language to anyone. So that was a very like horrible experience. I can't say horrible, but it's a very I feel like on
Memorable.
my cloud nine, memorable, and
Oh.
also I feel like on cloud nine.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Definitely, I think.
this is the moment.
So it's quite surprising for me. Like you were on the first call, and the first time you were talking with
Yeah, I
someone,
was
and she
surprised
told,
myself. That
like
was
really
how she
amazing.
told me.
Like, and she told, "Oh my God, you are a good speaker." So it's quite surprising because most of the times these things never happen. And first call is always really hard, also. And
Yeah, and
one thing
before
is,
the first call, no? Before
Mhm.
first call, I prepare some sentences actually. This also helped me,
Oh.
the ready-made sentences. So for some extent, these sentences will also help me a lot.
Yeah, great, I think. Great, great. And like there is a lot of kind of a people and they want to speak in English, but they don't know where to start. So when you were a learner, when you were a beginner, so which kind of a topics were you choosing to talk about? And which were you discussing some kind of a difficult topics? So what were your technique at that time? How were you
Yeah,
practicing?
if I'm talking about my technique, so when I talk to a Josh talk, so there is a I only use this application. Apart from this, I never use any application. I'm thinking to use another application, but if I'm talking about myself, so this is I'm comfortable with this application, and I also purchase the premium. So when I connected to a new person, every time actually initially 2 and 3 minutes took for the introduction part, take introduction part, and after that there is a no special topic actually with whom we can discuss with each other. So, uh, like fortunately, I found a person who is from the Punjab, and he is going to give the IELTS exam. So
Mm.
that on from that person, I come to know that there is a IELTS exam in our country, and this exam for the PR of the another country. We can get the PR of the another country by giving this exam, IELTS exam. So he told me that I want to practice with somebody, but it's quite difficult to find a partner and also discuss on a topic on a regular basis. So he told me that if you are comfortable, then why should we practice every day? If you're comfortable, then I always like ready to learn, and I also want somebody with whom I can discuss on any topic. So I told, okay, I'm comfortable. If you have time, then we will discuss on it. But on that application, problem is that when many times there is a network connectivity issue. So he told me we can discuss on the WhatsApp. So in the afternoon time when he get a time, so at that time we will practice, and on that practice I think that is very useful for me. On that practice he give me some topics, the questions which is totally related to the IELTS exam. So he give me the question, and he say that you give the answer in your own way. So I try to give answer, and after that he correct me. He is also very good speaker, I must say that. And
Mm.
for like I did this practice for at least 1 month, and this is very this helpful a lot to me for this
Yeah.
practice. So
Mhm.
so the topic discussion is also very quite like a hectic process. What should be topic we choose and discuss on that topic?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think you have given the answer really beautifully also, and you have mentioned a really great point. Like there are questions like if you are going to give the IELTS examination, so there are cue cards. Like one cue
Cue
card,
cards. Yes, exactly. Cue cards
cue
are
cards.
there.
So if you are the beginner, so you can start with those cue cards, and those cue cards are really easy. Like if you are just going to start, for example, there are introductory part, introduction part, and introduction part they will ask like which kind of a colors do you like, why do you like that color, describe your hometown, little questions, and the answer is also only like 3 and 4 sentences, and it's really
Yeah.
helpful. I think if
And the
anyone
questions are very familiar questions. They are not out of your like area. If you are very basic questions, and you can easily give the answer. You can stress your mind that what should be best answer you can give. So, yeah,
yeah.
this is the best way I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think, and if any beginner is watching this video, so definitely they should search IELTS cue card codes, and or maybe like one, not second or third. Second or third is really hard. So one they can search and they can start speaking about those topics. It will be really beneficial for them. And one thing also I would like to know, like it is really hard, like when you are on a beginner level, and after that, if you want to level up, like you want to go on a like
Another
intermediate
level,
level.
yes.
Yeah,
Intermediate.
so how was that journey from beginning, from a beginner to intermediate level? If I talk about you.
Yeah, if we are talking about that basic to base from the basic to intermediate, so for the basic level, at least initially we find very difficulties to making the structure, construct structure, vocabulary, and the grammar part. But when we shift from basic to intermediate, so at that time, at least we are able to speak to express ourselves. At least we are able to like this small sentences we can easily say, and I think it is
Mhm.
quite comfortable compared to the basic level, because in the basic level you are not able to speak a single sentence, you are not able to put up your expression. But at least on the intermediate level you are able to speak even in a broken English, you are speak with each other
Mhm.
easily, comfortably. So just implementation and execute some method, the advanced word is quite a little bit difficult, but with practicing is also can be get rid of this. So I
Yeah,
feel like basic is very difficult compared to intermediate. If we
yeah.
cross the basic level, it will helpful to us. Like intermediate level, we also gain some confidence, and we can easily talk to any person.
Yeah, and there is a problem also, like related to like storytelling and situational English. Most of the times, some people are really good at expressing their views about any topics, but when it comes to situational English, like if they go anywhere, if they want to ask any
Yeah,
questions,
conditional
so
sentence. Yes, yes.
words does not come in their mind at that time. I'm not talking about the like yeah, conditional sentence, you can say that. And
Mm-hmm.
so what about you, like when you were learning the language, when you were on your initial stage, so were you practicing this kind of a situational questions, like how can I'm going to talk with the other person? Because most of the times we don't focus also, but it's really important, I think.
Yeah, that like this type of conditional sentences I always ask on call when I call to Josh talk any learner. So I am initiate to ask this kind of questions, and another person many a time they are surprised that because people are not ready to give that conditional sentences, conditional questions, because this is the kind of imaginary situation which you give the answer in the imaginary. Like if somebody told that if you won a lottery, 1 crore lottery, what would you do with this money? So this is totally imaginary. It's not happen in the real life actually. So at that time you need to give stress on your mind. You need to think on it, and also if you feel there is a hurdle to find out any vocabulary, so at that time while we're speaking, we maybe not remember that exact vocabulary, but later on we will try to find out what should be the answer and what should I have given the correct answer. So
Mhm.
maybe at that same time it's difficult to find the answers, but later on we should search on it, that
Mhm.
what vocabulary at that time I forget, I stuck, I stammer at that time. So later on we will improve it. At the
Mhm.
same time it's quite difficult, but yeah, practices matter only. At same time if over and over we practice, so definitely we improve in later on.
Yeah, definitely. I think maybe I asked some other question, you answered something else. I'm not talking about the conditional. Conditional is really hard and it's like really imaginary
Yeah,
also
it's
sometimes.
really hard.
I'm
Yes,
situational. Situational means if you are going to the shop, so which kind of a questions are you going to ask at that time and how you are going to reply? Some general conversation. Because most of the times we are
yeah.
just, yeah, general conversation, people face a lot of problems at that time because in general condition, you are going to another person is going to ask you some unpredictable questions. It can be anything. So at that time, I think.
So
Yeah.
I think in that situation, in my point of view, if any person, one should prepare early for that kind of situation. If if for example, in our day-to-day life, we see many people ask the question in our and many sentences in their native language. So at that time, try to translate that sentences in our mind. So later
Mm-hmm.
on, when we feel such kind of situation, we can easily translate easily, because earlier we do the practice in our mind and nobody come to see that you are what's spinning around your mind, what are you thinking. Nobody has come to see like this. So every time I think, if we are a learner, so every time we need to think on it round the clock. If we go somewhere, if somebody I'm sitting calmly here, and if two-person talking to each other, so try to translate their sentences. They are talking to each other in their language. Maybe there are 100 plus languages there in the India. So if your language is Hindi and somebody is talking in Hindi, so you try to translate in the sentence in English language in our mind, because when we translate a sentence in our mind, so later on the same situation when come, we can easily translate it without any difficulties. So this is the method which I follow many times. And while I'm going somewhere, while my parents and my kids are talking to each other, so I try to translate. And also the sentence structure is very important, because one structure, if we properly know the one structure, we can use this structure many times. So the sentence structure is very important, and nowadays I'm working on it. Sentence structure. There are plenty of structure, and it's
Yeah,
not a overnight process. Obviously, it will take a lot of time, but every process take time. So it's a natural process.
yeah, definitely, I think. And most of the times, what happens, like, we do not know anything, and like people generally face the problem, they don't know with whom they should practice in English. But you have given the really good answer, like you should just try to observe another people and observe their like how they are talking to each other, and that's how you are going to learn like how generally people talk when they are speak when they are interacting to each other, and that is the real communication. That is the main goal of language also. And one thing is also I would like to know, like, when you were a beginner, so at that time were you learning some grammar rules or like you knew?
Yeah, I would like to share this incident. Also, this is a quite an interesting incident with this. I have been learning this language almost 4 months or 5 months completed. Before this, actually, when I was in school time, so I did my 12th standard from the Hindi medium, and I never thought to learn this language, because at that time it was not. I thought it was not my cup of tea, and after when I got admission in the pharmacy, so I found all the books in the English, and that was very quite difficult to handle. The suddenly that all the books come in English language, and you need to give exam on that language. So it was very difficult for me. But you know that in school time we have a limited portion, and the memorizing method, mug up all the things was very easy. We can after giving some effort, we can easily crack that exam. And I also use the memorizing method at that time, and luckily I was passed with the flying marks at that time, flying colors. And later on, after completing my diploma, so my financial condition is not good, my father was not good at the time, so I didn't continue that study. I didn't do the degree part. So later on I got married, and after I did my pharmacy 10 years ago. So in that 10 years, lots of incident happen in which I feel embarrassing because of this language. Some of my friends, they shifted from diploma to degree. They continue their study, but I didn't continue. So they made fun of me, like they were speaking very well. They are speaking very well, and I didn't speak anything. So one of my friend, I remember, she always she always make fun of me, like you are not you are a Hindi medium background and you are not a speak a single sentence. So I feel embarrassing at that time, and I was crying like why I'm not. And there is something in my mind that the person who is there was a phobia, like person who is from the English medium, they are only speaking English. So that kind of mentality I was at the time.
And also in that 10 years, this kind of situation, many time I went through this situation. And suddenly, like in 4 months ago, you know that every person has some difficulties in their life, up and downs happen in their life. So the 4 months ago, something incident was happen, and that incident was really broken me inside. Totally I was broken. And I there is no one with whom I can share the problem, and I feel very depressed. Mentally, I feel very depressed. So and literally, sometime I was at the time I was kind of overthinking person. Like I think a lot, and that was mentally disturbed me. So after that, one day is happen, and one day some incident was happen in my life, and I uh, I was going to like some suicidal thinking was spinning around my mind. Suicidal thinking. The condition was very literally for in my case that condition was very drastical, and I thought what should I do? But later on when I see my daughter's face and my parents, were definitely, many of people we went through the situation we think like this negative thinking, but I realized that I should learn this language because from my childhood I have keen interest to learn this language. So I to get rid of that overthinking, to forget myself, I started to learn this language. There is no another. Many people learn this language because they want to do government exam. They are a job person, so in their job field they are required. But my reason to learn this language only to forget myself, to get overcome such overthinking process, because as I hurt a lot, I learn a lot. Because when even nowadays I if I depressed, if I'm disturbed, I am in no good mood, so I started to learn this language. And it I told you that this language is some motivation, is this language is some kind of like energy provide me, and it give me some reason to live peacefully. So, and when I started to learn this language, so I forget all the grammar part. I didn't remember. Like, I remember only is, am, are, and ing. This is only I
Mm.
remember, because before this I never put many people like they are posting the status or WhatsApp status or anything stories. So they put a caption in the below, but I never put any caption. I don't, then how can I put on a single sentence? So this kind of thinking I was. So I never put any single sentence. So when I started 4 months ago, I only know the is and ing part. So when I started, so I opened the YouTube, and I found how to learn this language. So first I come through like come across like a connection English connection channel. She
Mhm.
is a very good ma'am, and she provide the ready-made structure. But when I see the ready-made, it's okay, it's good and simple, but I don't know the how to make the structure, because tenses I totally forget that tenses part. So after 15-20 days I realized that I should work on the first tenses, because tenses is important. This is a kind of heart of any language, and we don't have the environment. We have another environment, like our native language is different. So I thought first I should because you know that if as a human, if we have any problem, so our mind is automatically give the answer, like you should do this and that. This is as a human being we have. So my mind suggests me that you should work first with the tenses, so I learned the tenses part. And after that grammar part is also there. When I went through that tenses part, videos are automatically come, because you know that on YouTube when you are search anything, so YouTube provide the related videos to that. So grammar is also come, and I try to after 1 2 month I think I gave for the grammar part. And then I realized and also many people say initially stage that you are trying to speak, but it's not possible. Reality it's not possible. The initial stage when you are basic person, you can't communicate with any person, because every time you stuck every alternative sentence you feel stuck. How can I say this like sentence, every other sentence you stuck. So I what like I could, I start to speak. I try to translate a sentence in first in my mind. Initially, it's not possible to talk with the person. So after 2 months, when I complete with my grammar part, because I need for the small portion of the grammar to learn. I was not going to give any government exams in the rest of the grammar. Only 30-20% I know the which is required for the basic for the spoken part. So I done with this. And after that I try to translate the sentences in my mind. And then when 3 months completed, then I try to talk on the Josh talk application with the other people, because at that time I was little prepared. I was not that much of basic person. I know the how the structure, the sentence structure, at least the tenses regarding I was clear at the time. That's why the first call was easy for me. Otherwise, if I'm just start to learn and just connect to another person, though it's not so much easy. I already gave 3 months to learn these small sentences and the tenses part. That's why my first call was went very smoothly, was go very smoothly. Yeah, still I'm making lots of mistake, I know, but later on will be I will correct it.
Yeah,
I hope you're getting all the point.
no, I'm getting each and every point, and I have not like expected this answer from you. And like there is something else like I like most of the people just like wants to learn the language because they want to
Sorry
crack the exam.
for
Yeah,
disturb, but I remember one sentence. When I was very disturbed, I was broken at that time, and at the time I heard a sentence which motivated a lot me. That sentence was, "Doesn't matter how broken you are, you can always start and be better than before." So this sentence is something magic sentence which motivate me a lot. I was broken, I was totally depressed, but this now I'm falling in love with this language. I feel that love affection.
yeah.
Yeah,
In nutshell, if I want to, define your English journey, like when you are talking in English, when you are expressing yourself, so you feel alive. That yeah, like there is something meaning in my life, and that's so beautiful. Like I have never heard this kind of a answer, and like I have never come across with anyone like who just wants to like which am is like that. So it's so beautiful, and I think when you were sharing about your story, so I could like I can understand the pain in your voice also. So there was a lot of things also. And right now I'm speechless also, like completely like I just trying to
this
observe
thing
you.
it has happened with everybody. Everybody in their life, some situation, some point they are feel very speechless, and they feel like there is nobody with whom we can share our pain, our experiences. And also I feel like every person has their own problem. Nobody come to you and say that tell me your problem, I give the solution. This is not happen in the reality. You are only with you. At the end you are only with you, and
Yeah,
you are only the person who motivate yourself. There is only two way. Every the incident which is happen has the two part, bright side and the dark side. So it's totally upon you which you will choose. So I always
yeah,
see the bright side. Even I was a very negative person in my earlier time when I was a kid, and when I was school time. I was a very negative person. But later on, as the time goes on, and and also when I started to learn this language, so one thing is in my mind. I am in my early 30s. So I thought, yeah, it's too late to learn any language, because I heard that to learn any language it will take 5 years, 10 years. So also this sentence demotivate me. But I thought having not something is better than having nothing. So I uh, thought that should I start, even I know the single sentence, or even I'm able to speak a little bit, it is enough for me. At least after 10 years I realize I don't regret, I won't regret that I didn't start to study 10 years ago. So yeah, this is also some kind of feeling inside me.
yeah, definitely I think. And you are doing really well first of all. And at that time when you were in a miserable situation, so you distracted yourself and you just start learning English language. So it was really great, and we should all do this kind of a things. And like miserable situation is a part of our daily life, and we should not spend our time thinking about a lot of bad thing is going to happen. We should work on something. Just just like busy yourself with something, and after
Yes.
that and definitely you are going to describe, and life is really beautiful I think. And if I talk about, you are really uh, bold, so it's really like amazing. And that's a
But
really beautiful today,
at least
today my yeah, just like today my perspective also changed regarding English language also. There is a new thing, new
yeah,
chapter
actually,
opened.
many time you in your video you told that there is a goal you should have to learn this language. Then I thought, yeah,
Yeah,
I shouldn't have any goal. I just want to learn this language because I distract myself, I forget myself, I get rid of that overthinking. So for in my case, there is a no special reason, at least in my
you know,
case.
It is the most amazing reason. Like you just when you are talking, so you're not worrying about anything. You just want to express yourself, and that is the goal. Like you're not worrying about the grammar part. Also, you're not worried about anything. You just want to distract your mind, and after that, when you are talking with someone, so you are feeling enthusiastic at that time. So it's really important, I think, and that is the thing we should like need in our daily life, I think. And if you want to learn any language, also.
And also, one funny thing is that when I was in bad mood, so I just go and connect to another person on Josh Talk and start to speak in English, and I feel very good. Like I feel like my where is my bad mood was gone. I don't
Okay.
know, but this is language give me some energy, some positive mind, some positive vibes.
Yeah. Okay. So in future, like if you will become a really good speaker, and I'm certain you will become a good speaker. So at that time, what will you do? Like, is there anything in your mind?
Uh, right now I don't think about, I never think about this, but just I want that my daughters at least in the future they will be good
Oh,
speaker.
they would.
I am not a good speaker, but at least parents are the ideal for their kids. So if I am a
Mm,
good speaker, then maybe seeing me, they are also want to learn this language. And my younger daughter also try to connect with me in English, and many times she says that mama, what is this, always you are English, 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 I'm getting bored by English. So I told, but I love this English language, and I fall in
mm,
love actually. I willingly fall
def-
in love with this language. So I wish, and
definitely.
also I want. There is a one channel on YouTube, whose name is English with Dihati ma'am. You must watch this channel. She is a
I,
lady from the village area, but still she is she's not completely. I think she completed 12th standard, only 12th HSC completed she, but she speak very well. So you can easily see how effort she gave in to learn this language. So I don't think that learning this language is a quite difficult part. You just initial stage, I think you just mumble yourself, try to connect with yourself initially stage, and after that once you cross the basic level, then connect with another person. And making mistakes is the part of learning process. And also this is the language, there is a no end of learning. Like it's like an
mm,
ocean, and it's totally depend on the person how much water will it take from that ocean. Yeah.
definitely. Okay, so let's talk about some happy thing. Yesterday, like we had a session, so you told me like you would share that video with your husband. So how would your husband reacted when he saw your video?
He was very surprised that are you speaking English as well? Because he never known, and he never expected from me this kind of situation that I am. I suddenly share that video. Initially, I feel nervous that how would he react, but when he saw the video and he told me that you also know how to speak, because my husband is in army, and every
Okay.
time he posted somewhere. So now he's posted in Africa for the 6 months. So he was there, and no, he is still there. And he told me that okay, teach me as well. So I told, I'm a learner. How can I teach you?
I
But definitely when I will be a fluent, so I'll definitely teach you. But right now I'm also a learner, beginner. So, but he told that you speak good, at least you speak a little bit. I'm not able to speak at least at your level.
yeah.
Also
You
very
must have felt so delighted at that time, I think.
yeah, I
It
feel very
would
good.
be
And I
really
also
amazing.
shared this incident, this conversation with my brother, my younger brother, and he told me, see on YouTube many people give negative comments, so maybe you are like that negative comment impact on you. So and I also feel afraid of that, hope
Mhm.
maybe some people give negative comment that you are speaking very bad, and it will would be demotivate me, but I didn't see any kind of negativity. So I feel also good that yeah, people are also very helpful. They are at least understand you are making mistake, but people still they are understanding, they motivate you. uh, so I feel good.
Yeah, and if you are able to express your views and if you're making little mistakes also, so those mistakes are negligible.
I don't
So
think I'm making little mistake. I'm making very big mistakes.
No.
I feel like
Oh my God. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so the video is getting really long. So I would like to say in the end, like, there's so many things you can learn from Shabnam ji. Like, if you want to learn any language, so you should passionate about learning, and 24 hours you can like work on yourself or whatever you are, whenever you are getting the time. So you should work on it, and day by day, definitely you are going to become fluent in the language. And it's a really a different kind of a story, a really beautiful story I heard today, and I'm not going to forget this day also. Really
yeah, many
amazing. Like
things I still pending to say. If you some 2 minutes, then I want to share one
definitely.
story. Like
Okay.
you are just talking that if every time you study on it, work on it. So I especially want to say, in my case, I have been also learning about the stock market since like 2 years. And as a trader, it's a quite difficult task, because in the trading field, in the stock market field, you need to pay your attentions, maintain psychology, risk management, money management. So that was a very hectic task. And apart from this, I need to take care of my family members, my daughters, and also learn this language. So I in my daily life, daily routine, timetable, I don't get enough time to learn this language, especially by sitting and by just uh, like stay at one place and learn this language. So I never get time to learn this language. I When I'm working any another thing at the same time, meanwhile I'm learning this language. Like for example, I'm cooking in the kitchen, so at that time I'm listening something, and while cooking I'm talking to myself. So sometimes my
Mhm.
mother said, "Hey, you're going to mad, are you out of your senses, why are you talking to yourself?" I don't know, but this is mumbling to myself, talking to myself. This is the main reason why I am like a little bit able to speak, because of this only. So don't feel that you don't have a time to learn. It's not a reason. You can
Yeah.
learn what you are doing in between. You learn
Mm.
simultaneously. You learn this language. There is no need to take out a special time for this. Every time you are always with you, so you learn whatever you are doing another thing, because at the same time you are also do this thing as well. Yeah, that's it. But for today, that's it, because it's the video is going to be so lengthy, and I don't want that people say that why
No, no,
is
no,
she.
Rajesh, sir, don't please. First of all, it's your nature. You like to talk also, so that's why I never interrupt you also when you are talking also. So it's really a good habit and amazing. You are like a amazing. You are an amazing person. And again, like definitely the next time we are going to meet, definitely at that time I am going to see another like another Shabnamji at that time, because you're working every day on yourself, and definitely if you work on yourself every day, so you can become a really better version of yourself.
I also,
So
for the speaking part, I also don't give like 1 hour, 2 hour. It's good that you should give 1 or 2 hours to speak with any person, but I don't think I give that much of time. In the practicing level, I also not too much of practicing. I just practice for the 20 or 25 minutes for another person on like a Jostock application. So if anyone who is very initial stage, first work on like basic sentences, and once it cross the basic level, at least the person should be able to speak a single 2 or 3 sentence,
yeah, yeah.
like the normal sentences which are very
Mhm,
usually we use. That is that
mhm.
sentences.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, I think. So I think we should conclude the meeting right now, and it's really
Yes.
nice talking to you, Shabnamji, and have a wonderful day, and bye bye.
Have
We will